What is going on? It's so great to see you. I just got back from training. I'm about to do my cardio, so cheers. A little pre-workout for round number 2. And before I go run, and before this pre-workout kicks in, yet last week I was in Florida and I did a bunch of rounds in Florida, in Kissimmee, Florida. And here I am doing a Nogi open mat. This gentleman is a purple belt and we are, roughly the same size. I do have size dysmorphia. Here, look, if you're gonna strip a grip, right? You can pummel out of grips. So anytime somebody has a grip, address the grip. Here, anytime that you have somebody trying to do any type of X guard, controlling the ankles is always a very good principle, no matter what type of technique they're trying to pull on you. Controlling the ankles is definitely a smart move. Here, he swings around and he ends up getting a sweep because of that bend in the knee outward. So that was a very good move. Now here, he's not trying to hold my hand. Do you see how he already gets a wrist grip even before we're up? And do you see how you can circle out and reverse the wrist grip? Here I'm going for an Uchimata. One tip, if you're trying to finish an Uchimata, is to keep on circling, because you see how that blocked his leg from coming down and the center of his gravity was then shifted, like all of his weight was shifted around. Now, when you're finishing a takedown, usually in jiu-jitsu, you do something cool and then something really funny happens to you. Do you see how when we landed, I wasn't able to keep a body connection? This allowed him to get his knee inside. And because I ducked my head, I narrowly escaped getting armbarred. Like, imagine that, you get a cool takedown and then you get armbarred. Now look at this. He defends the turtle by getting to that far side, getting his head up, and using this right here as a perfect turtle defense to circle out, to change the angle like this. Now, I know that a double leg is about to happen, and so I go in for a Kimura, and he blocks the Kimura by weaving his hand underneath. Here, I am going for a sweep, my friend. And look at this, he gets a butterfly hook of his own, tries to take me for a little elevator ride, but I post up my arm, and he knows that we're out of frame. So we go back in frame. Now butterfly guard to defend against the sweep. Look at this really cool grip that he has to get this sweep. I've never seen this grip before. And that's a surefire way to make sure that they don't post that hand, because if they post a hand, it makes the sweep very difficult. One of the principles is blocking the arm in which you're sweeping, the same side that you're sweeping on, that way you can get the sweep. Here I'm going for a snap down to get head and arm, and look at this counter. He strips the grip and then circles to a rear side clinch. This is so great. Now, a counter for a rear side clinch is a rolling knee bar. I go for the rolling knee bar, but he knows what I'm doing, and he steps to the side so I can't get his leg. I look at this guard pass. This is classic throw-by guard pass, and do you know why it's classic? Do you know why it's fundamental? Because it works. Here I'm going for a single to get to my knees, and then I'm going for his far leg to go for a far leg drive, do a double. At the same time, he counters by getting a Kimura grip. Now my counter for a Kimura trap that works really well is this spinning arm bar. Now the key is to get that angle, get behind their back with that first step up, and to get your knee on them. Now this is game for small people, because a lot of the time when I have an arm bar, they will rip their arm out. So what I do is I weave my leg inside. That way from the arm bar, you can transition to a triangle. And then from the triangle, I lock it up. And this is actually my BJJ Fanatics instructional that hasn't dropped yet, but from a triangle, from a supine position, you can just get up on your elbow and transition to a mounted triangle. Now this is an amazing takedown. Look, arm drag, just block that foot, and that same sweep is also seen in Muay Thai. Now I go in for a sweep of my own, and look at this reflex, like to be able to kick out and maintain his balance like that, like that was great. Now I'm trying to go for a sweep of my own, but because he's keeping all of his weight back, the sweep isn't there. So of course, you know, it's jiu-jitsu. I don't try to force anything. If it's not there, then move on. Hashtag life advice. Here we're answering the leg lock game. So I'm trying to go for, I love heel hooks. Here he is weaving in to try to get an attack of his own. Here's slipping the knee line. And from here I come up to do a calf crusher, but it's, you know, he's not tapping, so it's either not on, and I'm not gonna hurt anybody that I'm, you know, if you go to a new gym, I don't try to force things because I don't want to, you know, injure anybody as a visitor. That would just be not cool. Oh, this is a great arm drag, and then I blocked it by putting my leg up, and that allowed him an opening for a great transition into either, you know, leg attacks in here. You know, I've been doing yoga, as you can see. All right, so I'll replay the video again. That way you can focus on some of the key things that we talked about, and I will see you at the end of the video.
The system broken, the schools closed, the prisons open. We ain't got nothing to lose, ma. We roll with some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rose. In this white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, cool world. I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning. This is way too much. I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. Till then, that the world's ours. Sauce is Napoleon, my food is Mongolian, my ice brought the goalies, and I embody every characteristic of the egotistic. He knows that he's so I just needed time alone with my own thoughts. Got treasures in my mind, but couldn't open up my own vault. I tell like creativity, purity, and honesty is honestly being crowded by these grown thoughts. So one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. Till then, that the world's ours.
Raindrops, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot bar. Cooking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. Hey. I don't try nobody, grip the trigger. Nobody call up the gang and they come and get gang. Cry me a river, give you a tissue. It's bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bullshit, bad. Cooking up dope with a Uzi. My niggas are savage, ruthless.
Never sold a bag that looked like vodka.
big when we pull up, give me the loot. Was off the Remy, had a back boost. Had to hit my old down, to duck the news. 24-hour lockdown, we made no moves. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm back up popping with the crew. I just landed in, Chase B mixes pop like Jamba Joe's. Different color chains, see my jeweler really selling fruits. And they joking, man, know the crackers wish it was a news. Someone said,
Lay up the keys.
someone said, this shit way too formal, y'all know I don't follow suit. Stacy Dash, most of these girls ain't got a clue. All of these hoes I made off records I produce. I might take all my exes and put them all in a...
All right, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I was in Kissimmee, Florida. I did a bunch of training down there, and this was definitely one of the highlights. There was other highlights as well. I visited a bunch of gyms, went to a bunch of open mats, did a bunch of rolls, and you know, it's always fun visiting other gyms. If you ever get the chance, it's so interesting to see other people's game and other people's reactions, and to learn new game and in like a new environment is just, I don't know, it was nice. And it was also nice to get some sunshine. So I'm gonna go for a run to get that cardio up, because I am looking at an MMA fight in May. So nothing, I don't have an opponent yet, but it's always good to, you know, cardio lasts for weeks after you stop doing it. So I would rather get my cardio game high up, and then, you know, in my mind, I have a fight. It all starts with the mind, you know what I'm saying? All right, so until next time, hearts, kisses, hugs, bye.
Hit my essays, I need the booch. About to turn this function in the final room.